Welcome to another daily show here from Volvo Ocean Race headquarters. Let's go straight to the virtual eye and see where the fleet are right now and what the racing has been like. Well, it's all about the Southern Hemisphere. We are well over the equator now, still using those trade winds, still sailing south. But some interesting breaks in the fleet. We've got Sunhunkai's Scallywag and Turn the Tide on Plastic at the back. Axonabel starting to break away and head on a more southerly course. We've got Team Brunel, Vestas 11th Hour Racing, Mafre and Dongfeng Race Team all punching well to the front. We're going to be hearing from some of those skippers as well in just a few moments. Well, if you've been using the tracker on the website to follow the racing, you might notice a new feature that's been added. It's a little bit of a tweak, it's a little bit of something extra, and to talk us through exactly how it works, we've got Conrad Colman. Conrad, what is this new thing that everyone's been up all night adding to the computer?
Well, for those mega fans out there that have not been getting a proper night's sleep since the race started, well, this is going to completely ruin you. Check out the bags under your eyes, it's going to be horrendous. Anyway, jump into the computer here, Digby. I want to demonstrate this new feature here on the tracker on the left-hand side. This is quite appropriately the crystal ball function. That's what we've decided to call routing. Now, there are so many parameters that go into offshore navigation. You need to have software to get your head round, you know, systems, weathers, currents, and all the rest of it. And so on board, these guys use routing software. I've explained that before, and I'll explain it again. But now you have the power of that in your hands, thanks to Race Partners Great Circle. So they're providing the weather that you can see being displayed here, but also the algorithm that allows you to do this. Grab hold of your cursor here, and then you can now, with the crystal ball activated, scroll forward and look at what kind of weather the boats are going to be experiencing, where they're going to end up in the weather systems, how fast they're going to be going. And so this will allow all of you to keep tabs on what's going on out there. And later on in the week, you can see how they end up in the system and whether they're going to break the 24-hour record.
And also it puts a little bit of added pressure onto us as well here in race headquarters, because we like to pretend that we know what we're doing, but now you've got the computer to tell you exactly what it thinks as well. But don't just take our word for it. Let's hear from the sailors themselves. Just before we came on air, we were speaking with Team Brunel about what's happening right now on the racecourse and whether it was a boat speed battle or a tactical battle.
Well, both. That's the name of the game. You've got to do both. You know, boat speed helps. You're not going to get anywhere without boat speed, but you're not going to go anywhere fast if you're going the wrong way. So we're going to rely on what the weather's going to do. And, you know, we're still looking at 10, 11 days to the finish. No one knows what's going to happen in that span of time, unless they're magic. So, you know, there's still a lot of tactical decisions to make as we push into the Southern Ocean. And it'll be interesting. Okay, so the Southern Ocean, obviously that's coming up. How far south do you think it's wise to push? Well, you push as far as you have to for the prevailing conditions. And if the South Atlantic high is big or quite low, you just have to get out of its way and go south, south, south and pick up as many fronts as you can. So you can easily get paid to 42. So I forget exactly, I have to check where the ice limit is at the moment, but we can get down quite south. Are you lining up to sort of sail around people, making some use of the weather change that might be coming? It's not that simple. I mean, there's no such thing as sailing around people. People don't leave doors open and things like that. We'll just sail what we see in terms of the weather conditions that we believe are going to happen. And I think everyone else will do the same thing. Obviously, because we've got the same informational boats that they tend to sort of track in similar ways. You've got to be pretty bold to sail away from the weather forecast, but there's opportunities always, especially with the local things that are happening, to make changes. Lifestyle, we're halfway through the course today, so this leg I should say, in terms of distance, and probably in time as well. So, you know, another 10, 11 days of sea and they'll be real men. For what reason should Dongfeng, Mafre, Vestas 11th Hour Racing, for what reason should they be worried about what you've got up your sleeve? Yeah, we're not 50 miles back, we're in the mix. They know we're clever, so they've got to keep an eye on us, make sure we're not going, you know, a different way. So we'll just have to wait and see. Some of the hardships starting to show, some cracked hands, some bruises, stuff like that. How are you guys shaping up? we're in great shape. We're a tough bunch here. Those other people are just going to harden up.
Andrew Cape, navigator of Team Brunel. But also, we managed to speak this morning to Team Axo Nobel and navigator Jules Salter, and I asked him what he thinks he's going to pay.
Pretty much just purely about boat speed, getting down the line you want to get down. We've been struggling a little bit for that for a few days, so we thought we'd try and get out the line up and just try something a bit different. We're still working on our modes the whole time, just trying to make the boat go quicker, basically.
Coming up over the next few days, there's going to be some interesting weather. What's your take on it?
Yeah, well, basically we just got to get around this high pressure South Atlantic high, trying to keep in the best breeze. There's an old cold front, or old big frontal system decaying over the racetrack as well, so that will make things a little more unstable. Probably some of these squall lines and stuff we're seeing now is all part of that effect, so there'll be a few things going on there. Things can develop pretty quickly, so we're trying to keep an eye on that and stay in the best breeze lane.
Obviously, the fleet at the moment is quite tight at the front, and also a bit of a battle happening at the back. From where you're looking at the latest position reports, do you think anybody's setting themselves up nicely to take advantage of the change of weather, or is it just a case of follow the leader?
The lead group of boats having a real good speed battle off, so they're keeping each other nice and fast the whole time. It's a little harder when you're on your own and out of touch with them, just to do what you want to do, but we're sort of trying to get ourselves a little bit of leverage, but without losing touch completely, so that's sort of the plan for the next day or two.
Leg 2 has been pretty fast by all accounts. The doldrums almost non-existent. How has it matched up to your expectations of what the racing would be like?
We knew sort of a week before it'd be pretty quick, the first bit, but the second bit's been pretty favourable too. It's a long way round, but looks like we're going to have some good breeze, and we're going to have to go way south to get to Cape Town, so that's going to be pretty interesting and good fun too, to sail the boats in those conditions.
There's a little bit of buzz and a little bit of a rumour around headquarters here that we might see some incredibly fast reaching on the way into Cape Town, potential for a few records to fall?
Yeah, if there's long enough runway. I mean, it's probably 2,000 miles from when we turn the corner into Cape Town, so I'm sure there'll be enough room there for some guys to really send it pretty hard and see how many miles these boats can do.
Well, we're moving into the second half of leg 2, getting ever nearer to Cape Town, but you might have noticed if you look at the tracker, it's a bit of a funny route to the finish. Right now, they're not actually sailing towards their destination. Why? Well, the question is the weather. Conrad, yesterday you were talking about this thing about not missing the bus and trying to dial into the weather. Give us the situation now. What does that all mean?
Well, let's have a look. Currently, I have the route for 24 hours from now, and so that's tomorrow, November 16th, Thursday, and the boats will be, down here, getting close to the latitude of Rio de Janeiro. The key system to keep an eye on is the fact that we've got this anti-cyclone reforming here, and that'll be giving the boats a downwind sailing conditions. But what I want out of the real fans out there that are following this race is for you to keep an eye on the systems down to the south. We've got a storm here, a depression here, a low here, and a low here. Now, number L2, this one here has been punching out of Rio de la Plata. So this is a river in South America that spawns lots of these neat, compact depressions. You can see it again 24 hours ahead here, and you can see that the fleet is actually, they've missed the bus. They should really ideally be here, and that for sure would get them into a 24-hour record-breaking zone. However, they are behind. L1 is off out of the picture. L3 has crept around Cape Horn there, and that is actually the one that the navigators are going to be watching for. If we go into Saturday now, November 18, L2 off out of the picture, and they'll be sailing downwind in light conditions, and all of the navigators are going to be looking to their right-hand side, watching that new depression as it comes up into play, until finally on Sunday they're going to be hooking into it, and that depression, kind of a messy one actually, is going to keep trucking all the way across the South Atlantic, and the model's a little bit unsure as to which way it's going to go, but it may push them all the way to the arrival in Cape Town, or a new formation in behind. Anyway, keep an eye on how that shakes out.
And this is a lot of pressure on the navigators here, trying to line themselves up with the weather systems that are rolling in. But have a little look at this. Myant-Best on board Sunhunkai Scallywag, taking a turn at the navigation station.
So we give him a day up. He just gave, he said something like 180 or something. Heading, just go south, easy. So yeah, no, I try not to touch it too much. You know, better not to break it down or something. But I must be honest, I didn't know it was, you know, how it exactly worked. So, normally I'm not here that much.
Right, well, that's everything today. Join us again tomorrow. We're going to have another show at 1300 at UTC. Of course, we've also got the quick fix update in the morning. I know you guys are going to be up all night following the tracker now with this routing software. Hopefully, Conrad Colman's not going to be out of a job. He's going to be back with us tomorrow with his insights. We're going to hear from the skippers. And of course, if you just can't wait till then, you've got the race experts behind me. They are on Twitter, dialing the race straight to you. So keep up to date with everything that's happening, and we'll see you tomorrow.